this session we are going to be exploring static electricity. When you start your poster, it's a good idea to have a big bold title. Now rather than go straight in with the felt pens, I've gone around with a pencil just to outline what I'd like. The reason for that, I can always rub out if I make a mistake. More importantly, the biggest thing that can go wrong is if you don't leave enough space for all your letters. So do static electricity, not enough room, make it really small. So plan it out lightly in pencil first. When you're happy, go over it, make it thicker. Then you can get the felt pens on the go. You can use coloured pencils as well. If you are going to use felt pens, little tip, put a piece of paper under the one you're working on, and that way it won't go through onto the table and ruin the table. Now that you've got your big bold title, what you need to think about next is how you're going to fill the rest of the poster. So you need to think about the facts that you want to use. It'd be a good idea to re-watch the video that you base today's learning on and make a few little notes of exactly what you want to include, which is what I've done here. So I've made a few little notes. They don't have to be in full sentences, just to give me an idea of what I want to include. So the interesting facts I found: static electricity is caused by unbalanced charges. Rubber balloons have a negative charge. Negative and negative charges repel one another. That means they push one another apart. Positive and negative charges attract one another. A wall is a positive charge, so a negatively charged balloon sticks. Lightning is an example of a discharge, and thunder is the sound that lightning makes. Now, having reviewed my notes, I'm thinking there's only so much that I can fit into my poster. So I think the fact that rubber balloons have a negative charge I can get rid of. And the business about the wall, I think, although an interesting fact, I don't think it's going to fit in my poster. We'll see. So I definitely want to include this information, but I want to make it a bit more interesting. That's why I go over to my poster. Now you might remember I put a piece of paper under this one to protect the table, and little ghost of what I was doing. Static electricity, lovely. Now, good idea with this, you've got more or less a copy of what your final poster is going to be. So it's a good plan to plan out where bits and pieces are going to go. So I know that I want to say that static electricity is caused by unbalanced charges. And I want to put that in some sort of box or something fancy. Good trick, don't draw the box first, because then you're forced to try and squeeze the writing into it. If you do the writing first, then draw the box round it, it looks like the box is perfectly shaped for the writing. So I planned my ideas. I've decided I'm going to have a positive over here and a negative over here. I want to put a fact on this side and a fact on this side. Now, having done my plan, this is why we do a plan. I can see that this one, too much information in this, or I need to make it wider to make it more look like a negative symbol than a box. Decided I'm going to do a diagram down here about positive and negative balloon repelling one another. I'll do some information next to it. I had an idea for this part to turn it into a lightning symbol. Now again, in the plan it's gone a little bit wrong because there's not quite enough room to get that right, so I'm going to perfect that when I do the main thing. There we are, the improved version. So decided to switch the text over. It made more sense to have the text that was on this side over here, and then this shorter text makes that negative symbol look much neater. Then we've got the diagram. Again, a little improvement. I thought it made sense to have both balloons pushing one another apart instead of just one, and a little explanation to go with it, and the slightly improved lightning bolt. Now we just need to add colour. And there we have it, one finished poster on static electricity. See what ideas you can come up with for yours.